Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. This one is focused on my monthly progression series where I talk about what I've been up to in the game, some pitfalls that I have seen, what am I up to with spending in the game, other aspects as well. Let's jump into it. Let's begin with content. Let's start with permanent content. Now, I decided that whilst I was away on holiday, it would be a good opportunity to get as much permanent content done as possible. With this event quest this month being about 40 days worth and to the point it ends, I thought that's a good opportunity. Let's go and smash through a lot of it. And in particular, I decided to grind out a little bit more with 6.1 and get that Cavalier status, which I was kind of waiting around a long time for. I was debating whether or not to get the 12k unit offer, and I'm thinking, it's not really worth me waiting around. It would be of more benefit for me to actually smash through it, do the initial clear, get the Cavalier status, and take it from there. Which basically means that I can start doing Cavalier crystal openings, as well as trying to see if I want to go for the just standard Cavalier crystals rather than going for the featured. I'm still very much on the fence with it. I don't like the fact that 3 stars are still in the Cavalier crystals. I think that's a little bit trollish for the player base. I understand that Kabam want to put it in and as well at 200 units, which yes is similar to the Grandmaster versions, which yes is fine. Yes, you get the 3-star version. I just think that's a bit unfair for something like this. But yeah, if they increase the units, I'm sure that if they said that it was 400 units but you avoid getting a 3-star, then that is probably where they go. So in some ways there's positives, but also there's negatives as well. And sticking with the scheme of content that's permanent, Micro Realms variant 2. Now for me, I found this a little bit more negotiable than the first variant, which, as you know, I haven't actually done anything more with. And I think there is good reason behind this. As I've been getting loads of these rank up gems, and also as I've been adding more champions to my roster, I've been increasing the amount of different types of class. And why is that so important? Well, it makes the grind easier. Something I've always stressed is you either get stronger champions than the content, which means it reduces down your spend based on the difficult content you're doing. Or for what I was doing, and my purpose was to do something more negotiable and easier content, and also building up rank ups of certain champions at different classes, to mean that when I go into this particular variant 1, that it's going to be easier because say I have a 565 of a 5-star version of a champion, I've got say a Ghost now at 6-star, which we'll talk about in a minute, and a few other champions at different classes which are significantly stronger to go against its content. It's, for me, seems a no-brainer. For other people would be like, I'll just get it done. But you know, look, let's be real here. I want to make this as easy as possible. And that's why getting through variant 2 is my priority at the moment, even though we've got event quests on 36 days. I've put on the brakes for this, because first off, I was like, I need to grind through this. I need to produce content, which was kind of good, but also kind of bad at the same time, because there was a bug with this particular content, and we're at the moment talking about the idea of compensation for Nameless Thanos and the way the champion was kind of acting. So there's positives and negatives with rushing through content. Bounty missions, of course, we'll talk about in a moment, another semi-permanent content. But the fact is, I want the rank up gems, I want to rank up my champions, I want to utilize them more, and that is the preparation for that before I then do this here. And I probably, when I go on holiday again, which will be sometime in June, I will probably just buy an Odin and then just grind it all out, get it done 100%, and then come back to it at a later date if I haven't 100%ed it. This leads me back to Act 6.1 and the utilization of Medusa. Now you've got class advantage here with Ghost, you've got a robot champion there, you've got a robot champion here. My 5-star rank 4 was good, Medusa was good, but I feel that she could pack more of a punch at a 565 and make the content a little bit more easier. So that is the next thing, is to utilize that champion a bit more and get her up to 565. I would like to 100% this by the end of next month, based on the fact that we'll probably get Act 6.2 very shortly, but we'll see if that happens. Especially considering a lot of my most strongest champions are actually going to be associated with stuff here. As you know, for a while ago, I like to start pushing more on map 6. So it does mean that a lot of my double immunity champions are utilized for this particular content. And I am hoping for some decent pulls from crystals going into next month, so the month of May, just to go, right, well, this is going to be helpful and beneficial. Maybe I get another double immunity champion, maybe get another really strong 6-star for utilization in other content, or maybe I put them in this so I can then free up other champions to then make that other content a little bit more easier. Especially considering that Alliance Wars, this may be the last month that I decide to go, because I'm going on holiday in June. I feel that this may be the month of May will be my last season before I take a break from Alliance Wars seasons grinding. So I need to really consider that and making sure that if I'm not going to be available because I'm on holiday or wherever I might be, and I won't be able to access a phone, that I make sure that I am not with an alliance that does Alliance Wars. And maybe I'll return. I'm hoping that I do return to Odin at a later date. But I need to, obviously, if I say, oh, I'm going on holiday, and therefore I mess up a lane, I mess up a path, and as a result, the alliance doesn't get a decent footing because of me and doesn't win a war and it's crucial, then I would feel incredibly guilty about that. So I need to really consider that in the future. Where arena grinding is concerned, it is all about getting milestones and getting units, because let's face it, like I can't really warrant spending extensive amounts of money. If I was to start spending back what I was doing before, it would probably be close to about £100 a month. I can't really give anything more to the game, as it just would not be financially viable to do that, unless for whatever reason that the money was quite good from content. Because let's face it, a lot of the videos do not get huge amounts of views, so therefore I can't go, right, if I do a massive Cavalier Crystal opening, then I would need to see, am I getting close to that back, in order to go, right, well, is that going to hamper or going to cause any issue with bills paying this month? You know, you just need to consider this. And it's something you've got to consider as well when you buy. Are you going to see any kind of worth from doing this? Are you going to make further progression? And it's something you always have to ask the question of yourself when you decide to spend in game. Am I getting my money's worth? Am I getting decent inputs from the game? Is Kabam responding well to things that I'm saying and the community is feeling? Sometimes I feel that's the case, other times not. And I'm not going to be making so much of a big deal, because let's face it, there's some times where we really need compensation for stuff that's gone wrong, and times where I think that people are just going too much for it. And let's face it, April issues have still not been addressed with any kind of compensation. We had that kind of thank you for playing the game prior to shit hitting the fan, but we've not received anything when the shit actually hit the fan. So are we going to hear anything? I doubt it, but it really would be nice for something to be a little bit of a thank you for playing the game, or kind of it hasn't been reaching up to the standard for the month of April. Objectives seem pretty cool, and this is something that I will be grinding out a lot more, especially in May, and also with the special stuff. Unfortunately, with these last stand shards and last stand and greater last stand crystals, they've been incredibly trollish to the community, and it kind of sucks that is the case. I will be building up over the next 30 odd days. Probably by the end of May, I may make a decision to then go, right, let's open up all the shards. And I could have a load of shards to open. It may be a good crystal opening video, so do look out for that by the end of next month. So yeah. I think personally I'm going to struggle with getting a rank up on a 4-star Avenger to rank 2. I don't think that is going to happen. And I think for a lot of players that have an extensive amount of the Avengers, it's not going to be a doer. I still have considered the option of selling my Ant-Man to then, you know, maybe with a big 4-star crystal opening, that could be a thing. To then, like, so right, it's deleted, I've got him back in, I rank him up to rank 2, and we take it from there. But it would mean that I'd have to take said Avenger up to, I think, 565, I want to say. Sorry, 550, which obviously is what it said here. And do I want to take an Ant-Man to 550? Hell no. Hell no. No one wants to do that. As it's just well, it's not waste of resources, but you then go, right, well, if I take a nice champion that I like, then what are the chances? I've got to try and get that champion again. So if I say, right, Scarlet Witch, let's just delete her, sell her out my roster. Am I going to get that champion again? Chances are probably not, and I've lost all those signatures. So I need to find an Avenger that's low on signatures. That's a good champion that I somewhat like. I need to then take up to 550 as a 4-star. It's a difficult one. I think I might avoid this altogether. It sucks to lose all the shards, but let's face it, I'll just do the other events that give the shards. Next up, and let's move on to temporary content, and in particular, the negative zone. Negative zones are just about to end, and I must say, first time in a long time, I have to give Kabam a pat on the back. I thought that they were actually pretty good, very beneficial for the community. It does show that they can do stuff that seems a little bit more fairer, especially considering they did with Variant 2. Fairer content. Appreciate that. People will still spend their money on this particular content to get through, but the fact is, it does feel that Kabam were being fairer. Unfortunately, with one hand they giveth and one hand they taketh backeth. And in particular, not massive fan of these last stand save the battle realm, especially considering that what you get out of it, yes, you do get a lot of these last stand crystal shards. And unfortunately, they're trollish. They are trollish at the moment. There's nothing good coming out of them. I may choose to avoid these potentially, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, moving on to Avengers Forever. Avengers Forever. Yeah, not too bad. First initial clear, that nameless Thanos, pain in the butt. Until finding out only on the Saturday that everybody spending all their units and buying Odins was actually a case that there was a bug or an issue with that particular nameless Thanos. So, yeah, I don't really know what to make of that. Yes, the positive is that the community were able to find out a bug within this particular event. Good on us. Bad news is that why did it have to be there to begin with? Sometimes you do question whether or not these things can be really looked at and how they thoroughly tested through. The same thing with new champion implementation. Are these things thoroughly tested through? Is it a case that they require more stringent testing? Should there be less of a push for events on the monthly? Is it a case they want people spending their money to get through this stuff? I don't know. I'm not going to kind of point fingers and kind of stoke fires on the business end of things, but sometimes you do have to ask these questions. What is actually going on? Apart from that, I've been giving the events a little bit of a wide berth to focus on some of the permanent content and just grind out that. Especially whilst I've been on holiday, I'm thinking there was more value in me grinding through the permanent content than there would be from doing some of the event content. I will get through Uncollected. I've started my grind as of now, as of recording this video, and I'll just go through I'll just go through it up to the end. And probably avoid the last kind of bosses and grind it extensively in arena just to get some units just before I start going into stuff. It's kind of good to get that Thanos done, but there's another two Thanoses I've got to go through, and then obviously you've got to repeat it several times in order to go through it. So whatever, I guess that's going to be fun. Either way, recently I decided to bite the bullet and I've awakened my Domino and put her up to 565, which I'm pretty strong in like feeling this is a good decision. I'm close to another 565. As I get through a lot of this permanent content, then it's going to be a case that this is going to be better for me. So I'm looking forward to getting another 565. Yes, I do have some strong potential options for 6-star rank 2s, but I feel I'd be better suited to get a lot more 565s for the purpose of taking through content. So that's what I'm going to do. A few more 565s. Consider what I get in the future to whether or not it's worth doing any rank 2 6 stars. But adding Ghost as well to the roster has been great. I've got to make a few decisions on other champions to rank up. Ignore Ronan, he's only there as part of the content contributor program, which I've already done some videos on. But there are a few that I've put up from a 5-star perspective, mainly based on the fact that I wanted to get some level up stuff and also some advancements of some sort of classes. But it's all about stimulating those to get them a bit further. There's a lot of champions I still need to get and still would love to get, so maybe that I get a bit of luck from a Cavalier Crystal opening in the future. I'm prepared, and I really want Ebony more, as I've got the gear ready. I've got plenty. I've got a rank 4 Mystic Gem. I've also got a Mystic 5-star Awakening Gem, and got 18 of the generic 5-star Signature Stones, and a further 50 of the standard Mystic ones. So I'm ready if I do get the champion. So if I get it, it's great. If not, then c'est la vie. Either way, this has been a slightly longer than normal deep dive into what I'm currently up to in game. If you are interested in what I've been up to, then please, keep locked to the channel, subscribe, notifications on that kind of thing. I'm hoping by the end of next month that there's a lot more progression on the permanent content to a point where I feel like I've really caught up. Variant 2, I'd love to smash by the end of this month, and then work on in late June, 100%ing Variant 1. Also, with Act 6.2 around the corner, I may then try to 100% that. I don't know if I really care too much about this month's event stuff, and I'm kind of more focused on the permanent content. But what are you focused on at the moment? Are you focusing on the event quest? Can you not be bothered? Are you waiting for your summer holidays? Are you taking a little bit of a break? What have you been up to? Let me know in the comment section below. But in any case, I've been RichTheMan. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.